Well, grand rising, peace and blessings. This is Oracle Deborah with the Oracle Deborah podcast on YouTube. It is in the wee hours of the morning, 5 o'clock, 5:08, 5:07 a.m. I got about as much sleep as the universe will allow me to sleep today. So I'm going to, I decided to just go on and get up and do this short video, and then I'm going to study for a bit. I had a great birthday. It was phenomenal. Thank you all for your well wishes. I'm going to get right into this. Oh, do me a favor, please like, share, and subscribe for me. I'm making traction bit by bit, like the tortoise, I should say. Slow and steady wins the race, for sure. So let me get a little comfortable. I feel like my little arrangement here is slipping away from me. I want to get a little comfy. It is chilly. The temperature has dropped quite a bit. And we are 2 days away from Christmas. All right. So, Fat Joe is just blowing up the internet right now. And he is being clapped back from every angle possible, as he should. Now, I make it a point to mention that I am FBA all day, every day. I love my culture, and yes, we do have a culture. As you see when you look around the world, literally across the globe. So I love my people, and I love that my people are waking up. And there's so many levels of this thing in terms of our awakening. And it's also one of the reasons why I love astrology so much. Astrology, if you will, it was the tool that, really saved me. Not my physical life, but there are other ways that you could be dying inside. And there was just questions that I had. Well, usually just one particular question I had that no one seemed to answer for me or help me figure out. Not family for sure, not friends, not community, um, absolutely not the church. As a matter of fact, they made me feel worse about even having questions, the type of questions I had, and the type of challenge that I had. And, eventually, you know, I detached from the church. And I'll make this quick because I want to get back to Fat Joe. I detached from the church. It only meant for it to be a 6 month sabbatical. 6 month turned into 12 months, which turned into 18 months, which turned into 24 months, which when I looked up, to be honest, it was 11 years had gone by. And every 6 months, I was pretty much saying, I'm not ready to go back. I'm not ready to go back. I think after about 3 or 4 years was when I was like, I'm not going back. I think at about 3 or 4 years was when I decided that I'm not going back. And but I thought maybe, there would be another church. And that's when I looked up 11 years later and I was like, yeah, we're done here. Um, so it's on an astrological level to see uh, my people and myself. I'm the first one to raise my hand on this one. to get to this level of awakening is a feeling of, um, and how can I put it? Immense satisfaction. That is, it's a time that I thought, that I hoped since I was a little girl, honestly, that I desired to see. And I think the moment I would have gotten to the point where it was like, this is never going to happen, would probably have been the day when I just gave up on life. That's how much this meant to me. And so to see, this movement, us standing on our square, um, grow and um, strengthen the way that it is, brings me a lot of joy in my heart. It really does. Brings me a lot of joy. And I had grown frustrated in my own way and in my own right. And I went down that path where I wanted to be open to other cultures. I did this decades ago. Okay. I was open to other cultures and other culture foods and practices and all these things. And honestly, that was an opportunity for people to say, yeah, this is who we are and this is what we're about. And, because they were in our culture. So I wanted to explore like the Sagittarius side of me, what, does, it just does. And, um, and it was fine for a while, you know, until I started seeing things and I didn't like it. I started seeing more things and I didn't like it because, you know, I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I am good people. That's one thing about me. I am good people. I don't lay awake at night um, scheming uh, against people. I can't. I am a humanitarian. I can't do that. It's not my nature. So, and when I saw people's gripes against uh, foundational Black Americans, and they were taking it out on me personally because they had access to me, was, probably when they were poking the bear. The bear was waking up. So that's my little short story. Now, to get back to Fat Joe, you know, he's bitter, he's angry. I'm not going to play a clip of him because I can't at this point anyway, but I don't even want to show him on my screen. Okay. I don't want that face on my screen, on my video. You know, it's not appeasing, number one. And number two, his hatred, I won't give it momentum. Okay. But I'm on here. I wouldn't even really be commenting on this stupidity that he spewed out of his mouth. But in a way, you got to give gratitude for people. See, here's the thing. Pluto and Aquarius, as tough as this transit is, it is the truth serum. Pluto in Aquarius is the world's truth serum. People can no longer hold on to their true feelings anymore. Things have been coming out ever since Pluto and Aquarius has been, peaking in uh, since 2023. Okay. Pluto and Aquarius peaked in, Pluto came out of Capricorn into Aquarius in for a couple of months in 2023. And then Pluto went back into Capricorn. And then Pluto went back into Aquarius this year, actually. Uh, I want to say around May or June, and stayed there pretty much retrograding back and forth. No, I'm sorry. Pluto and Aquarius, I would say around May or June. Pluto went into, no, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm getting this all mixed up. It's too early in the morning. Pluto went into Aquarius in January of 2024 and sat tight right there until September of 2024 when it retrograded back into Capricorn. So that was the deal. And during that 9 month period of time, right? Um, it was Cat Williams, really, if you think about it, that came out early this year and said, the truth is going to be exposed and things like that. See, that's Pluto and Aquarius. So this whole transit is a truth serum because Aquarius is a humanitarian and it's not going to tolerate lies. It's not going to tolerate secrets anymore. Okay. That's why you find me outing myself all the time. I'm outing myself all the time. So it is the transit of the truth serum. So Fat Joe had no other choice but to say what he had to say because this is the energy that we are in. And this energy is hanging around for the next 20 years. 20 years. So, he said we had to say his hatred, his bitterness, and all these things. And rightfully so, our people are clapping back. Because, see, in that music industry, these folks like Fat Joe have been getting away with and have been cultivating this hatred for Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, for a long time, for quite a few decades now. Okay, a very long time, and they've been cultivating it and cultivating it and cultivating it, and it's been building and gaining momentum. And they've been lying and they've been sneaky, and they used us, and they um, even Fat Joe came up on our backs, and they supported his music. I never bought this man's music. I don't even know what his music sounds like, to be frank with you. And and for a while, I was angry with the brothers. I was like, why are y'all out here in this music industry giving these people? This was after, they were poking my bear, and I started awakening. Excuse me. Hold on, fam. Let me clear my throat. Sorry about that. Um, and I started getting frustrated, when I started working for myself is really when everything exploded for me. So from 2015 and absolutely in 2016 when my business, was launched, and I wasn't in the workplace anymore and I couldn't be muzzled anymore. um, and I found, I was slowly working on finding my voice again, while I was in the workplace. And when I worked for myself, I was like, I don't have to answer to anybody but me. And that was very empowering for me. But anyway, I was just really frustrated, especially around 2017, 2018, when I started boycotting certain businesses. I really went hard for FBAs and, supporting Black businesses. And I spent a lot of time in groups, you know, um, that were strategizing how to, get out here. As a matter of fact, I was a part of a group that was out of Philly, and I can't think of the brother's name who passed away. He was amazing, and the people who took over for him, they were more calculated, and I just Yeah, it was like his type, you know. It was like a dying era when he died. But anyway, yeah, I was going hard and I started boycotting businesses. I started doing my own nails and hair. I'm sorry, my own nails, my own manis and petties. Um, I stopped eating certain foods unless I cooked it. Um, yeah. So anyway, I was frustrated. And so because I thought they were giving people too much access to our culture for them to be hating like that. See, I saw it, but the music industry, they blur all the lines. This is about being creative, yada yada yada. And I was like, oh, the brothers are giving them too much access. They're giving too much credence to other females. I heard stories about that too. A rapper in Philadelphia said that he would be out in LA and they would have these parties and the people who were putting together these events wouldn't allow black women, young black women in these events, and they only wanted white and others in these events. And he said he wasn't going for that. This is a true story. Um, and I can only give you these allegory, stories because, I don't remember, and I'm not going to take the time to. If someone calls me to the carpet to prove it, I can prove it. But I'm right now, no, I'm not going to do it. I just tell you it's a true story. And it was a young rapper out of Philadelphia. And as a matter of fact, Dr. Boyce Watkins had this actor at his conference. Dr. Boyce Watkins gives these conferences, and he had one up in Philly. And I traveled up to Philly to this conference, and this young brother rapper was a guest speaker. So there you go. There's a little more context to that. So anyway, so I was mad at the brothers because I was like, y'all giving these people too much access. And then um, the second story I'll tell you is I was on Clubhouse heavily about a year and a half ago, about a year ago, and I had connected with a group uh, on Clubhouse, and I was part of the moderator team. And um, there was a brother. I didn't see him very much come on, but he was a staple. And, because I was more new, I didn't know him as well. But anyway, long story short, I get on, I'm up in the middle of the night, kind of like this, but it was, yeah, it was right around this time or so. And I pop into this room and there's a group there. Clearly, they're mostly musicians. And the sister that was in there, I was literally in a room with her the day before where the room was talking about Chantel, the young woman who went to Mexico with her friends and never came home. I think that's her name, Chantel, something or other. And this woman went hard for her and how her friends were not being held accountable and how they just killed this young girl and da 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 da. Now she's in this room with this brother. He's an older brother that I was just telling you about. He was in the room and a few other people. And I was just sitting back in the audience, just chilling, listening to them talk. And man, oh man, did they go in on black folk? They were like, the motherfuckers are stupid. And they just laughing, yeah, man, aren't they? Yeah, them da 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 da's are stupid, yada yada. They were just going straight in. And this sister was talking about how she worked with Dame Dash, right? Like, so she was in the Dame Dash circle. And and she was really going hard. And I think she was Jamaican or something. And she didn't have the accent, it was all like New York accent or whatever. But I mean, they were going in crazy hard. Now, where I made the error was I wanted to speak up because I was like, I wanted to say to the brother, aren't you the one in this such and such and such a room, you know? But they were going in and I just popped out of the room. And the mistake I made is I never did a screenshot. I should have done a screenshot of the room to prove it. And later I called this brother out in this huge room. And he was like, you know, in front of hundreds of people. And you know, he was like, no, 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 that wasn't me, that wasn't me, da 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 da. So the next time I went into my regular room, you know, I came in there and they were like, yo, you know, we calling you to the carpet. You said this thing. And he was like, and the brother was in there, he's like, it wasn't me. And I was like, yo, I didn't take a screenshot of it. And are you sure it wasn't you? Because I saw your picture up there. I saw it was like, it wasn't me. I'm not even up that time in the morning. I'm still at work, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he made his case, but because I couldn't prove it, I had to apologize, right? Because there was no proof, even though I know that I knew that I knew it was this guy. Um, but because we were in a community in this group, which turned out to be a lot of Caribbean people, you know, who were essentially cosplaying, uh, which I didn't initially know. But, you know, anyway, I won't get into that, you know, because I'm a humanitarian, so I can sit in any circle and it means nothing to me. But that's only one side of the story. If me sitting in a circle with other people, but they have something against me, then there's a problem there. You feel me? There's a problem. So that's this long, kind of drawn out way. I'm going to bring this back to Fat Joe because he falls into this category, um, lock, stock, and barrel. And he put it out there how he feels about us and called us radicals and broke and all kinds of stuff, you know. I have things to say about that. People, they ride the backs of other people. They come up and then they call us broke. But I'm pretty sure the whole time they are messing with our money in roundabout ways, right? Because they're very loyal. They're very loyal and unified amongst themselves. And you may be a part of this, I don't know. But I've had enough experience with other groups, Caribbean, Cuban, Jamaican, doesn't matter, right? And what I learned over time is, you know, they're very loyal amongst themselves. You'll have Africans and Asians, you know, collab, you know, against foundational Black Americans. You have no idea. My face is very inviting, and people say the most, excuse my French, the most fucked up shit in my presence because they think because they feel my aura and they feel like, you know, they think I'm a shill, you know, I guess, or they think I'm so quote unquote nice, you know, and they feel like they could just say this stuff and it's okay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not coming to you from hearsay. I'm coming to you from personal experience, personal, okay? And I'm not talking about a little bit of interaction here, a little bit. I have I went to a church that was highly multicultural. I live in a neighborhood that is highly multicultural for the past 20 plus years. Let me tell you, this is not just allegories. Okay, this is true stuff I have experienced time and time again. You feel me? Um, so anyway, you know, out of, you know, out of respect for my team and all this stuff, you know, I apologized to the guy. I said, I believe it was you, but because I don't have the proof, I'm gonna have to just, you know, eat it and move on. And that's what I did. I ate it and move on. But I watched to make sure I didn't catch him in another room again. I didn't after that. And he straightened his tail up and, you know, he said he did what he did. And again, I still don't know if he was FBA or if he was um, from another group or not. But he damn sure sat in that room and they all went in laughing and everything, calling FBA stupid. And this is a regular thing that I hear from people from other countries, melanated people from other countries saying, even about this election, you know, um, someone's like, Black people are stupid. You're just stupid. It's just stupid. Like this person couldn't say it enough, because we didn't vote the Democrats back into power again. Why would we? Why would we do that? People who are upset about this thing are the people who are benefiting from the Democratic Party. They were benefiting as being um, the new Black group, and we were, the Democrats essentially had committed us to be permanent underclass, and we rose up, and we were like, nah, we ain't doing this. And some of us either went red, and the rest of us did as Obama called us pookies, sat their asses on the couch and be like, "Now I'm gonna sit this one out." And that's why we were so effective in this election cycle. And the Democratic shields are still crashing out. The Roland Martins are crashing out. The Joy Reeds, some of them are just flipping. I saw a video where they were like, Van Jones is flipping. He's flipped. He's red now. you know. And he spoke his own, the truth serum got to Van Jones too. He was like, they demolished us. We thought Trump was so stupid, and he showed us who's really stupid, basically. Van Jones is flipped. Stephen A. Smith, I don't know if he's flipped or he's just playing a game. I'm not really sure, but I do think that he and Roland Martin are having a little powwow. The shill powwow is going on, which is hilarious. The View, crashing out and having to submit, all of this, all of this. So Fat Joe sitting on wherever he was and doing this interview and saying all these foul things about us or whatever. They're also mad at Tariq Nasheed for microphone check. They want to take credit. The Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans want to take so much credit for hip hop. You cannot, you will not, you will never take credit for that. And Tariq Nasheed sealed it to make sure that they never will, because he put it in writing, he put it in video, he put it in a documentary. Okay. And that was the thing that the later boomers did not do. They didn't document things. They didn't pass down the torch. You feel me? But we are. Gen Xers, we're doing it. Millennials, we're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing things. So, yeah. So, anyway, I came across this quote from Shakespeare, and it reminded me of Fat Joe. I said all of that to say this one thing. Tis why the headline says what it says. Because when I saw this quote, I immediately thought of Fat Joe. And so, yeah. But yeah, I'm not a fan And may more and more of our men in the music industry wake up, stand up, and, you know, start doing things the way it needs to be done for the betterment of our people, for our highest and best good. And it's getting there bit by bit, just like the tortoise, slow but steady. We are winning the race. Okay? We are winning the race. That's a key word, race. We're winning the race. All right, beloveds. I'm going to be done here. And listen, have a beautiful day. And I will check in. If not later, I'll check in tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve. Thank you for listening, of course. Thank you for subscribing. Like I said, I have views on many different topics, but I do not waver, quiver, or anything when it comes to my people, to my culture. I just don't. So if you need to unsubscribe, I understand, overstand, and understand. Okay, I get it. But I am who I am. I respect all peoples, but I respect myself first, my family, my higher source, and my people. And why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I respect my people and my culture? Why should FBAs not respect their own people and their own culture? The Hispanics do, the East Indians do, the West Indians do, Jamaicans do, Asians do. Everybody under the sun, every other group does. So, what gives anybody the right to tell us that we cannot? To label us extremists because we are valuing our culture. You've got to be kidding me if you tell us this is what basically people have been saying in but so many words by their actions and their behaviors. And it is the most, what word would I like to use here? Um, it is honestly, it's just the most ridiculous and hateful um, stance that a person can take against another person, another a person can take against another group for valuing and lifting up their group. It's hateful. That's hate. So don't ask people or don't demand of people to value you and your group if you have no value for other groups. Don't do it because you won't get it back. And all people across the board are crashing out. They're crashing out over this thing. And unlikely people are experiencing things in this economy where Blacks have been having to deal with. 'Tis why I have labeled this thing the way that I have labeled it, because that alone is a message in and of itself. I'm just going to leave it there. But people are crashing out of all walks of life in this country and across the world because they're hurting in these economies, and now they're getting a feel of what it's been like for us for centuries. Centuries. 5 to be exact. Okay, so there you have it. And by the way, 5 is the number of change, and we are absolutely going through a change, a transition, a a what is the word I want to use? A change, a transition, transformation. That's it. That's it. That's the word. A transformation, which is Pluto. And Pluto combined with Aquarius is making it happen. And I am loving it. I am loving it from A to Z, from top to bottom, from right to left, from in, from out. I'm loving all of it. And then some. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed, Tamichi X, and all of our other FBA family who are out here and, you know, who are out here and laying down the gaunt, if you will, on Fat Joe. All right. Love you guys. Peace and blessings to you. I will see you when I see you. Oh, and let's remember to smile and make our smiles shine as bright as the stars that we are. All right. Peace, peace.